Hey YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back. We're going over kind of all of the basic tips and tricks for the new Xbox players coming in today, or not today, I guess tomorrow, because this video is coming out tomorrow when the Xbox players are already in. So we're going to be going over all of the basic tips, going over the basic stratagems that you get when you first start out, and kind of build a baseline into, I guess, other stratagems and weapons you can buy, but we're going over basically like what's good, what you need to get when you first start out. And we're also going to assume that you have, where is it? It is the Democratic Detonation Warbond. This should be the first Warbond that you buy, literally the best Warbond in the entire game, according to everybody. And, you know, obviously we'll make another video on Warbonds and stuff anyway, but that's basically what this video is going to be about. Starting out with the Punisher, this is the first, I guess, gun that you're actually going to unlock. It's actually a very good shotgun. Light pin, doesn't really sound that great on paper, but it does have a lot of, I guess, stagger to it, a lot of kick. And it basically has, I'm just saying this in quotes here, unlimited ammo, just for the fact that if you spam reload after every shot, you're basically never going to run out of ammo until you don't have any left in your stockpile. This has a really good progression system. The full choke, I hear, is very, very good. So if you want to go into upgrading your guns instead of getting new stratagems first, that's also a very good thing to work towards. You get it at level 12, which is actually really early on. Anyway, really good progression for the Punisher in terms of weapon upgrading. The other thing is the Frag grenade. This actually doesn't look that good on paper, but it actually is really good. You get an extra grenade, you get kind of the shrapnel effect like Eruptor has. I guess that's the only gun that really uses that, but the high explosive grenade, I believe, is heavy pen. Yeah, heavy armor penetrating, which is good, but you get one less grenade and you know, obviously get more damage. This is also still a good grenade to use over this, but just in terms of closing bug holes and being more efficient, Frag is honestly another good pick. Moving on to secondaries, you get the Redeemer and the Diligence. I actually would not recommend the Diligence against like anything besides like the automatons, because I think this is, yeah, you get light armor, but you have a lot more ammo. It's basically, I think, do you get, okay, you do get, it's basically a worse version of this gun. People will go up and down saying that this gun is worse because you get less ammo than the other one, but in my opinion, this is just way better for like all factions. This only, where is it? This only really strives against automatons in my opinion, and you have to be really, really accurate and know where to hit. But if you're looking for a good DMR, I would just hold off on that and buy this instead. It's more, you get a scope, it's more accurate. Actually, this has a scope too, but you get what I'm saying. This has a better scope, medium pin, obviously very good. And this is just kind of the bigger brother to the other DMR, the Diligence. And in terms of the secondary here, the Redeemer, I actually feel like it would be a little bit better if you use the default Peacemaker, just because this used to be such a good gun and then they nerfed it into the ground. But this, honestly, it might be better. Don't hold my word to it. Obviously, you'll try it out. This is basically just a full auto, less damage. This has, I think this actually has more ammo in it. Like in between mags, I guess. This has more ammo, but this might be better. Don't hold my word to it. In terms of armor, this is the first armor set that you'll actually unlock. You get the Scout armor. I'm not a kind of a stealthy player. I do know how to do stealth in this, but I just wouldn't really recommend it. You can go online and look up like how to do stealth gameplay and how to stealthily go around, but I just prefer to blow stuff up. That's just my play style, but not to say that this is not a bad armor passive. I just never took the time to learn it, but Scout armor is a pretty decent armor passive. We also have, oh sorry, this is actually good for like all factions, I should say. The Fortified armor, this is preferably, you want to use this on bots and the squids, just because you get 50% resistance to explosive damage, and the recoil reduces by 30% when crouching. That's actually very huge, this number. 30% doesn't sound like a lot, but whenever you are in and you're crouching is such a good thing to like have in this game. It's just such a good habit to build, not just in this game, but really any game. But very good for once you get later on down the road and you get into some more high recoil weapons. And the explosive damage, obviously very, very good for the bots, just because, well, you'll know there's so many things on the bot front that can kill you with explosives. I think the laser turret, like the big giant tower, could actually one-shot you, but with this, I think you might actually live, barely. So very good there. Let's see, the engineering kit. This borrows the same recoil reduction as the Fortified, but you get 2 extra grenades here. So if you have the normal frag grenades, you're going to get 7, and if you have the high explosive grenades, you're going to get 6. Very good, but the only problem I have with this is not a bad armor passive by any means, but the only problem I do have with this is whenever you go to use a resupply kit and you pick up the resupply package that you call down, this doesn't give you more grenades. You still get 2 grenades per each supply kit pickup, so you'd have to pick up 3 to get fully back up to grenades. So just keep that in mind when you're using it, and if you feel like you're dying a whole lot and you're not getting the full benefit of these grenades, I would honestly take this armor off and I would use this bad boy. This, the Bone Snapper, the Medkit armor passive, honestly such a good armor passive and armor in general to have. Not just for the beginning, like the beginning game, I guess, once you start out, but even into the late game, I do use this. Not this armor, but like the armor passive. This is honestly so good. You get 2 extra stems, which, you know, you still get 2 stems on resupply. However, this increases stem effect duration by 2 seconds. Major game changer, these 2 seconds. Basically, you regen health for 2 more seconds, and basically that's huge. That will save you so many more times than compared to 2 grenades here. Very, very good armor passive here. Going back to the pistols here for a second, Democratic Detonation. If you actually have this Warbond, highly recommend using the grenade pistol. Opens up so many more possibilities for your loadout, just to close up bug holes and even fight some enemies. Very good to have on. I would definitely use this if you have the Warbond. If not, then obviously just use the, where is it, the Peacemaker or the Redeemer, because those are the 2 guns you're really going to have starting out. Going back to grenades one more time, another couple of honorable mentions here for the beginning game. The impact grenades, my beloved impact grenades. Very, very good. Actually, heavy armor penetrating. I didn't even realize that. That should be medium. But anyway, it's been too long since I used this. But anyway, what you need to know, basically immediate damage. Super good for if you're just panicking and you have an enemy in front of you and you need dead like immediately. Totally would use this. This honestly might be, no, actually no, this is a little bit better just because you get 5. But oh, and slightly more damage, but you get the idea. For these, very good. This is also really good. The Incendiary grenade, throw this on top of a bug breach, and this will honestly, because this lingers way longer than what it used to now, and this will honestly kill like at least 2 waves of enemies before you have to throw another one down. So very good. So basically I would just try out this, and then just kind of use your best judgment and see what you like the most. And that's the last time I'm going to mention grenades, just because all of this other stuff is in later Warbonds. So it's, and some of the stuff you just don't even use, like these, I'm never using these, so you get the idea. So this, and this, that's all you need to know. So going back, obviously very good armor. The Hero of the Federation, this armor can be very hit or miss. It's not really a bad, I mean, actually it is kind of, well, it's okay. I'll just call it okay at best. But you know what, actually, let me pull up a little, so what you need to know is, let's say this is you here, and we'll say we have a bunch of automaton rocket troops over here, and they're shooting rockets towards you in this direction. And we'll also say we have a little mountaintop over here. Don't at the drawings here. So basically, we'll say they launch you up. Okay, basically, because this armor is 50% chance not to die while taking lethal damage, you could get launched up into the air, hit like here, you survive the, what do you call it? You live, you would have died here, but you get saved by the armor, you're on 1 HP, then you fall into this crevice down here, and you have to survive another 50% to live to this. So basically, it will work half the time, and when it does work, it feels great, but when it doesn't work, it's just kind of like, why the hell did I bring this? This basically is the whole reason why this armor set fails, in my opinion, just because of that whole reason. But other than that, I mean, if you want to bring this and try it out, by all means, go ahead. Oh, and you get the impact grenade here, so that's where you pick this up. In terms of the Scythe, this gun definitely better than it was, but this is nowhere near as good as the Liberator Penetrator. So honestly, in terms of this gun, I wouldn't even... I mean, I would buy it somewhere down the road, but I would honestly save the medals and buy this instead. Just stick with either the Defender, the base Liberator, or the Punisher for the time being. Just kind of skip this gun, come back to it later if you want to. And I'd buy this. This solves all problems. It's basically a normal Liberator Penetrator, but it has medium armor pen, which is huge. And it does a little less damage, but forget about the damage. It does medium armor penetration. That's what's important here. This, honestly, this is good for even the late game. I use this on bots, I use it on bugs, I use it on even the Illuminate. Actually, the Illuminate, I'd say it's like an S tier gun. Very good. It honestly might, in some cases, be better than the Scorcher, but the Scorcher is also a very good gun, but don't listen to me on that. These two guns here, Scorcher and the Penetrator, very good guns. Obviously, we talked about the Diligence already. So anyway, so Liberator Penetrator, very good gun. Definitely would recommend, honestly, especially once you get this gun customized and upgraded, you can get a 60-round magazine on this sucker. Haven't got that yet, but that is 60 rounds of medium armor penetration bullets going at the enemies, and this is already a pretty accurate gun. This has already almost no recoil, and when you customize it, it has even less recoil, so just keep that in mind. Highly recommend this. Very good. Oh, I haven't been talking about armor a whole lot, but this is basically more scout armor, fortified obviously, another medkit armor, breaker spray and pray. It's okay. It's kind of the best way I can describe it is it's kind of another version of this gun. I think it does less damage, 330. Yeah, so this does less damage, but it has more ammo and it shoots faster. So, I mean, realistically, you're only going to use this on bugs. I wouldn't really bring this for I wouldn't really bring shotguns against the automatons, or I mean, you could bring this against the Illuminate, I guess, but down here, this is the real treasure here. So, the Scorcher, arguably the best gun in this entire Warbond. This is what you should be working towards the entire time. This is basically, I know this is medium armor penetration, but the explosive damage on this, even though it says 200 and it's only 200 damage, it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but with this explosive damage, it kind of creates a splash effect, and you can shred through a ton of stuff that you normally wouldn't be able to with the Penetrator. So what I mean by that is a charger's butt that you need to shoot out to kill a charger. This can do it in, I think, a clip, maybe a clip and a half, which is also very good. Super good against the Terminated, super good against dealing with almost all the automatons with the exception of anything bigger than a Hulk. Actually, don't. For Hulks, this is good for taking out Hulks too. Just if you get to the back weak spot on the heatsink, very good. Let's see, what else am I missing? I need to talk about boosters. So I guess I'll talk about boosters next here. So the first booster that you're going to get the chance to unlock is Hellpod Space Optimization. Easily a top 3 booster in the entire game. What this does is basically it allows you to become, you come in full on ammo, grenades, stims, all that type of stuff. The only thing I think this doesn't do is brings you in with a full ammo on your support weapons. I think you have to do like a ship management tier for that, or whatever those are called in the ship management page. But solid booster. You also have the vitality enhancement, easily number 2. This honestly is probably better than Hellpod Space Optimization. You get, I think it's 20% more health, and you get like more, I don't know, 10% more health, and then 20% more, what do you call it? Like 20% more health on limbs breaking. And if a limb breaks, you just kind of have to pop a stim. Unless it's like a broken arm, you can like kind of live with a broken arm in this. But definitely also a super strong booster. You have the UAV Recon booster. This is honestly kind of mid, but if you like, I'd use this if you have another buddy or friend that has vitality enhancement and Hellpod space optimization. So this is also, you know, it's good. But most of the time, when enemies are kind of aware of where you are and they're shooting at you, this doesn't really mean a whole lot because you know where they are. They're shooting at you. It's really good if you rock the, where is it? The scout armor, because I think it kind of, I could be wrong about this, but if you use the scout marker placement, it might actually increase the range on that. Don't quote me there, but I swear somebody said you could do that. Smoke grenades, I forgot to mention, but don't buy this. Bad grenade. Doesn't give you anywhere. Oh, the muscle enhancement. So this is bugged at the moment. And the reason why it's bugged is that this works on the Helldivers. This does what it says it does. The problem is it also makes it to where if the enemy is in like a bush or like one of those frozen bushes that freezes them, this basically makes it to where that doesn't affect them. So it helps you, but it also helps the enemy. So it's kind of like a buff for both of you, I guess. So wouldn't recommend bringing this until that's fixed. And even if this does get fixed, assuming it does, there's just better options that you can run. So just keep that in mind. And finally, the reinforced, increased reinforcement budget. This is good only on the account of you're trying to get a higher level unlocked, like level, you know, like 6 or 7 even. I would bring this because obviously you're not going to have all the Warbonds unlocked and all the shit you need. But this is good because you know you're probably going to fail. That's the only reason why this is good. If you don't want to run this, obviously I wouldn't run this, just because if you're dying a whole lot, you probably need to change the difficulty until you get more better stuff and just know the enemies better. So I would bring this only if you know you're going to have a really hard time. And even then I wouldn't bring it. I would just bump it down to a lower difficulty, and I would bring a better booster. So that's just my recommendations on that. Alright, so going into stratagems, all you need to know, I think you get the machine gun off the gate. I don't think you have to unlock this. But machine gun, very good for crowd control. You know, I'd bring it against, you could use this against bugs and illuminate. Actually, on the illuminate, this is actually probably S tier, just because it can take down harvesters in the kind of upper leg joint, kind of connecting their head to their legs. So very good against the illuminate. I would highly recommend it there. You're also using the Stalwart, which is kind of a mini machine gun. This is good for like heavier primary guns, but you're not, you can use this, but it really excels against kind of smaller enemies. It's basically kind of like a primary with a ton of ammo in your hand that's light pen, not medium pen like this. Let's see, where's the golden boy at? The Quasar cannon. This is so good against literally everything. One shots, bile tines to the head, one shots, it doesn't, okay, this is a really bad clip because this is so old, but this normally would one shot these guys. Don't pay attention to this clip. This works on Hulks. That would kill him if this was up to date today. But this can one shot Hulks, it can one shot headshot a Bile Titan. It can one shot a Impaler if you aim for the weak spot on the kind of orange forehead region above the eyes. What else can this do? This can, I believe, well, actually no, it's really, oh yeah, this has unlimited ammo. It basically shoots, and then it has, I think, like a 10-second recharge, but you don't have to reload this. This kind of reloads itself because it's heat powered and it's a charge up. So very good. This is basically kind of a better version. It's a better version of this. Basically, this is good because you get it every minute. This also isn't bad. Like this is good, but this is good to have before you buy the Quasar. But Quasar is just the king. This is, you know, players in the late game use this, players in the mid game use this. So the sooner you get your hands on this, the better. It's just such a good thing to have. The other thing you can do is the shield generator pack. This is very good for when you're kind of struggling to get into the higher tier missions. I think that whenever I bought the shield generator pack, this got me from level like 8 to 9, I think, because I was just struggling so much with getting hit. But anyway, this is very good. It definitely can help you out with getting into those higher levels. It basically saves you from ragdoll, which is the biggest problem on the bot front. In terms of Terminids, this is just a free hit, and it basically recharges, so you get it back, I think after like, what, like 15, 20 seconds you get it back once it pops. So highly recommend this. Very good for literally everything. Actually, one more thing. This can actually save you from a charger. If a charger hits you and this bubble is up, it won't actually do any damage besides when you fall and hit the ground. So this kind of saves you in that aspect with chargers. But the only downside to this is if you have your shield on like 1 HP, you can't actually kind of turn it off and reset it. You have to get hit and then let the shield bubble charge itself back up again. So that's the only downside with this, but other than that, 9 out of 10 stratagem, highly recommend. Another couple options you can do is you have, let's see, you have the machine gun, but where is the, here it is, the autocannon. Oh, chef's kiss. This is probably never going to get nerfed to where it's like unusable. This is easily going to be like the best thing ever for the mid game, or not the mid game, the early game. I would buy this before. It's basically kind of like a lighter version of the, where did they go? It's a lighter version of the Eats, and you get a backpack here, and you get 10 rounds in it, and basically this can deal with so many enemies, deal with chargers, deal with hulks, it can deal with the walkers here in this clip. It can deal with, oh, it has a flak mode, which it may not look or sound like a lot. I'll have to throw a clip up here. I'm actually going to throw up a lot of clips on these, but I'm going to throw a clip up here with the autocannon using the flak rounds, which is insanely good against the Shriekers and the automaton gunships. I think it's also good against the Stingray on the squid front. Very good there. You can also use the Recoilless rifle. This is basically a bigger, stronger version of this, except with the Recoilless rifle, you get a backpack, so you have to manually reload. And I think this actually does, no, it does. This does more damage than the Quasar, but the reason why the Quasar is better is because this can one-shot most things anyway, and it reloads itself automatically. The thing that the Recoilless has going for it is, you can see in this clip here, his buddy is kind of reloading for him. So you have a buddy that's willing to do that. That's actually insane. and very OP. But more times than not, you're not going to have a buddy to do this with, but obviously I could be wrong. You could have friends that do this with you and want to do it too. Very OP whenever this happens and works. But more times than not, this is going to be what you want to go with in terms of anti-tank. Another tip you can do is with the anti-tank. I'm going to throw up another clip of this. But you can do this with just about anything. If you take the anti-tank stratagem, or any stratagem as a matter of fact, and you throw it at an enemy, you can actually get it to stick on the enemy. And when the supply drop, or whatever it is, the Hellpod that comes down, it'll actually land on the enemy and kill it for you. Kind of a niche thing to do, but if you want to try to get better with that, this is definitely what you want to use to kind of practice with, because you get this back under a minute. You get this back so fast. Another thing that you guys should know about is the guard dogs. Do not sleep on the guard dogs. These things will save you more than you think. It's really good for kind of keeping an eye on your 6. Basically, what you need to know is you have the guard dog Rover, which is the weaker of the two. It has light pen, so it's going to deal with the lighter enemies. It's going to have a little bit of trouble dealing with like the medium-ish enemies. But what makes this very special is this has unlimited ammo, so this never has to go on your back and reload. Actually, I guess it does, but you don't have to like resupply to get more ammo for it. But very good. The other one is the normal guard dog, which is basically just a Liberator Penetrator. This has the same gun that I recommended before, the Liberator Penetrator medium pen. And I think this fires like, what is it, 60 or 50 shots in it? And this is going to be able to go through like hive guards. On the bot front, actually, this is really good. Oh, and the squids too. It's really good against those because it basically domes the headshot on Devastators, on the shielded guys. Super, super good. And for the squids with the staff wielding guys, I forget what they're called, but the highly armored guys, their head is medium penetration armor, and this is literally medium armor pen. So this will go deal max damage to their head, which it aims for most of the time anyway, because what happens is, I think it goes for like the chest region, and the recoil kind of like bounces up into the head. That's what I've seen most of the time. But do not sleep on the guard dogs. Very, very good. What else can I say? Don't buy this. This is kind of a joke, in my opinion. Some people will die on this hill saying, oh, well, the shield is the best one. It's better than this, according to weirdos. But this breaks, so it's kind of like a weaker version of this. But just use this more times than this. Nade launcher's good, but that's kind of, you're not going to get this right away. I guess it's really all I can say for the support weapons. Most of these are you're going to get later on, but Autocannon, Recoilless, machine gun you get off the gates is very good anyway. Stalwart, very good. Eats, good for learning how to eventually go into the Quasar cannon. Ooh, the arc thrower I could talk about. Arc thrower it's just another version of the Stalwart, except it stuns, and it has a little bit of trouble kind of connecting when there's dead bodies on the floor. It kind of like will go into those, but this is also good. I just wouldn't use this. I would not use this on like level 7 and up. You definitely can though, but it just gets a bit tricky to use it on those levels, but also a very good weapon to have. All right, in terms of stratagems, and I'm talking about like every faction as of right now, I'm gonna go into what you should bring for each faction here in a second, stratagem wise. But for starting off, the Gatling Barrage, very, very good for throwing on a bug breach. I wouldn't really recommend bringing it on the bot front, but you can definitely make it work. It's just kind of like there's other options that I like, but this definitely isn't a bad pick. It's good for just about everything. The only thing this isn't good at is it's not good with dealing with kind of the heavier enemies. It's kind of good for just a lot of suppressive fire that you want to have pinpointed on a certain point. This is kind of a weaker version of this, in my opinion, just for the sole fact that this is a medium armor penetration. So in that sense, I like this better. Also, I like that this has kind of less cooldown than this. But the only thing this thing has going for it is it kind of like stops. And if you use it on a bug breach, you can like kind of have one layer come out, have it pop them, and then another layer will come out. It'll hit them. So, and this has 4 bursts. So definitely better than what it used to be, but honestly, I'm just taking this 9 times out of 10 over this anyway. The barrage is very good for throwing on heavy nests or just, I don't want to get into fortresses yet because that's level 10. That's like in game, but for medium bug nests or medium bases even, these are very good. Just in terms of, you see a lot of enemies you don't really want to go in, but it's kind of a gamble with these because, well, first off, these affect 50 meters, so you want to throw this. I think both of these actually affect 50 meters, so you want to throw this in and basically get at least 50 meters away so you don't accidentally die to your own barrage. But this is really kind of a hit or miss, but when this works, oh my gosh, does it feel good. This is just kind of another variant of the 30-80mm barrage, but this is kind of niche. And the reason why I say it's niche is because most of the times it just doesn't, like you can see it in this clip here even, it's kind of missing some of these guys here. The only time I really recommend bringing this or even using this is when you're kind of in a, you know, let me pull out the old sheet here again. The only time I would really use this is if, let's just say this is you, and we'll have kind of this kind of passageway here, and say you have a bunch of bots here just all over the place. So, and you know, we'll say we have a Hulk in there, we have a Factory Strider way in the back here. So, and we'll pretend that this is like a wall or like mountains kind of. So these are mountains here. You get the idea. Kind of a passageway. So people are coming down at you here. And basically this is the only time where I find it would be useful. And even then it won't hit all of them or kill all of them, but it's also very good. What you could also do is if you have light armor, if you throw this at your feet and you run into it, the barrage will kind of be slower than you're running, but that's very, very advanced tech. I would not recommend doing that for low levels, so just kind of only use the barrage in these situations. Orbital laser, very good. I wish I gave you more uses, but this is honestly pretty good for... This is actually really good for low levels because it basically just kills everything for you. It's basically like a free kind of take out this base button. The only thing is you get 3, so you have to kind of use it carefully. Orbital napalm, super, super good for the... Well, this basically kills everything because with fire damage being buffed, this is actually insane now. Plus... this is kind of like a softer version of this. So this is going to like kill Bile Titans, it's going to kill Hulks, it's going to kill... I think it takes 2 shots to kill a Factory Strider with this. I could be wrong. If it's a headshot, it will definitely one-shot it though, I think. The barrage though, this is... It will kill chargers. I've seen it kill chargers with the fire damage. And that's just because if a charger's in here and it gets hit and it lingers and stays in there, it will kill it. So yeah, but in terms of the orbitals, this is good for kind of smaller bug breaches and nests. This is good, and this is good also. So keep that in mind. For the Eagles, before I get into the Eagles, you should know, in terms of ship upgrades, this is the first thing I would recommend that you go for. So just keep that in mind. You get 1 extra Eagle stratagem, so... For the, where was it? The Eagle Airstrike and the 500 kg, you get one 500 kg and then you get 2 airstrikes. With this, you're going to get 2 500 kgs, and then it would eventually turn into 3 airstrikes. And then obviously the clusters, you would go from like 4 to 5, strafing run 4 to 5, so you get the idea. But yeah, so strafing run, it's kind of like what I said before with the barrage, kind of this, you know what, I'm actually going to pull out the thing again, just for this, there's just this one time again. So for the strafing run, and actually all the other eagles, the only 2 eagles that we'll just pretend here, we'll say you have a bunch of enemies in front of you, we'll call these like scavengers and hive guards, stuff like that. The only 2 stratagem, or not stratagems, the only 2 eagles you need to worry about in terms of the direction they come from. So the 500 kg bomb, let's just say you throw the stratagem here. If this is a 500 kg bomb, the eagle's going to come in behind you, and it's going to kind of, you know, go drop it, go for it anyway. And that's kind of, basically this is going to create this, it's kind of like kind of a mini nuke in that sense. It basically is going to, anyone in this radius, I think it's like 15 meters, is just instantly vaporized. Anything in this outer layer is basically dead, if not dead, heavily damaged. And then there's another layer which is just like, okay, we're hit, but we're not like super hit. So that's the 500 kg. That comes in from behind you and then forward. Same thing with the strafing run, but the only thing with the strafing run is, if you throw this and treat it like a 500 kg, and you throw the strafing run here, basically anything from this point up is getting hit. So, like, you have the hive guards and the scavengers here, this is getting hit and that's dying. So what I'd recommend you do is you kind of run around over to here, and you throw it about here, and then all of these guys are dying. So that's what you need to know about the strafing run. Very good for, it's actually good against the automatons up until you get to a war strider, which is the new enemy they just added in. If you go against a war strider, it takes like 4 of these things to kill it. I wouldn't recommend it. I would just bring a normal airstrike in this case. So, and in terms of a normal airstrike, we're actually going to talk about that next. So a normal airstrike is, and every other airstrike for that fact, is going to come in from, I believe it's west to east. Sometimes if there's like a debris in the way or something over here, like say there's like another giant mountain over here, sometimes it will choose to come in from this way. So either way, it's coming in from left to right or right to left. So, and then it's going to drop, you know, obviously bam, bam, bam. I think it drops like 5 or 6 bombs before you get the upgrade. So, but basically, the Eagle Airstrike, very good. It's basically like a mini, it's like a minier version of this, except obviously it has a wider area. So this will actually destroy chargers, and I think it's very rare, but you can kill a Bile Titan with this. And what you have to do is, instead of having the, if you have the, let's just say this is a Bile Titan, you know, whatever, Bile Titan, you get the idea. Excuse my drawing. Let's say that's a Bile Titan. This will be our bomb, or our 500 kg. Basically, instead of throwing it forward, you want to look kind of at your feet and then turn. So basically, instead of looking here, you're looking here, and then it's going to have the bombs show up and go this way like a normal strafing run. And so what you want to do is you want to be like about here, throw it down, and then you have to be very lucky and have a couple of bombs hit the Bile Titan. But realistically, if you do that, it'll take like 2 airstrikes to kill it. I have seen people that get lucky and they have it kill it in 1, but I mean, I'd rather just have you use the strafing run or the, or just use the 500 kg to kill a Bile Titan. 500 kg is what you want to use to kill literally all heavy enemies. So yeah. Wow, I just realized I've been recording for so long. It's going to be such a pain in the ass to edit down. Okay. Other than that, the last thing I'll talk to you about is the sentries. I actually don't recommend the sentries just because in order for the sentries to work well, you need to have all of these upgrades on for the sentries to like really work. Well, actually, not even these. This doesn't really matter. So if you want to be a mortar guy, but these 4 upgrades are what you need to have the sentries really kind of go off. So that's what I'm saying for that. But if you want to get be a sentry guy, get these upgraded before you really get into sentries. So that's my advice there. Hope the video was useful. Hope you guys learned a thing or two in terms of the weapons and stratagems to use. Leaving a comment would be much appreciated on what stratagems you think would be good to use for new players and what stratagems you guys would be using. We're going to be trying to cover a lot of the new content coming up with the new Xbox players coming in. We're going to be trying to cover the new Legendary Warbond that comes out tomorrow, or hopefully is already out by the time you're watching this. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Much love. Thank you. I appreciate you.